Hello and welcome to my gameplay of Genshin Impact. My name is Rachel. I am taking a class this semester that is allowing me to show you how Genshin Impact is played and interacted with, so I can analyze the game for you. So let's get some background on what Genshin Impact is. Genshin Impact is a gacha game, which is a type of game where the aspects of the game, such as characters for benefits, are acquired through random chance in the form of loot boxes, or in this case banners, that can be purchased with either an in-game currency or with real money. The game was released on September 28th of 2020 by a company called MiHoYo, a Chinese developer, and known in the US as HoYoverse. The game was released for PC, mobile devices, and PS4 as well as the PS5. It is considered a fantasy action-adventure that has elements such as puzzles, combat, rhythm, and simulation. The game receives updates every 6 weeks that provide players with new mechanics, improvements to the game, new story content through world quests, and new dialogue options with NPCs. A new nation is introduced every year on the anniversary of the game itself, advancing the story and getting us closer to the endgame. As you are seeing, the game right now is showing that it is raining. This raining mechanic adds wetness to my player, and it will also affect my enemy's abilities as well. So Genshin Impact is about two siblings, one male and one female, that the players can choose from and play as, while the other one becomes an NPC. As the siblings are trying to leave the planet of Teyvat, they are stopped by an unknown god who wishes to punish them for the arrogance of mankind. The siblings try to fight this unknown god, only to be separated across time. Now, with our powers have been sealed, we must find each other in order to leave this planet. The character we choose is known as the Traveler, since they are considered an outlander from another world. Though you do get to give yourself a name for the character at the beginning of the game after you select your sibling, which sibling you wish to play. The amount of customization does not change the story at all, but allows the player to be better immersed as themselves inside the world of Teyvat. As the Traveler, we assist each nation with a crisis that is unique to the region, while we are trying to find our sibling. Upon reuniting with our sibling for the first time, we discover that they are working for, or run, the Abyss, the ultimate enemy within Teyvat. They have plans to help the Abyss reset the world so they can reconstruct their homeland, known as the Forgotten Nation of Conria. We tell our sibling that we have to stay and help those who need us, that we don't have time to save and resurrect this new nation. And our sibling's response is, time. We always had enough time. We spend the rest of our journey trying to understand why our sibling chose the path they did with the Abyss, as we continue our journey to other nations and help them with their problems and meet a bunch of new friends along the way. We spend with all hopes that we will be able to reunite with our siblings once again. The Traveler has the ability to interact with the statues of the Seven within the realms of this world. Each region is governed by their own element, and can be interchanged using the Traveler at the Statues of the Seven. If the Traveler interacts with one of these statues, they can change to the element of that region. The 7 elements are as follows: Animo, Geo, Electro, Dendro, Hydro, Pyro, and Cryo. When the Traveler interacts with these special statues, they gain 2 different abilities. One is a elemental skill that can be used during combat to do damage, and one is an elemental burst that can do significantly more damage per hit. I will demonstrate that as such. So my elemental skill for Pyro Traveler is that I have this ring around me. If I use my ultimate, it creates an AoE field that does damage to all players within the AoE ring. You can tell what element you have active based off of the back half of the Traveler. There is a icon on their back of their waist and the 2 stars on their cape, as well as other accents in the front. Both of them have their respected cooldowns and need time to charge before activating again. There is a limited amount of time in which they are active, and there's a limited amount of time in which they would need to be reactive. Throughout the world of Teyvat, there are full of puzzles that we need to solve, and by solving each puzzle, we are granted a reward. They recently added a new function to the game where you can play with musical instruments, songs from the soundtrack of the game, and score points based on the score you get at the end of the soundtrack. The game also features something known as the teapot. Gonna open my menu, summon my teapot. So the Serena teapot was a gift after we helped solve a crisis from another nation. The teapot is a sanctuary or humble abode where you can go and travel and rest up. It was a gift from the Adepti. Inside of our teapot, we are able to customize, edit, lay out furniture, interact with friends, as well as interact with other players in our rosters. While I'm here, I can grow crops, customize my living space, and have a simulated universe where I can do whatever I want and decorate any way I want. There's a feature also within the teapot where you can share your designs with fellow other players within the community. You can upload designs from other players as well, mimic the layouts, so right now I am planting crops that I would need to help level up certain characters. Genshin offers the players a way to address the developers directly by using the feedback option available after every update. The feedback option is located within the in-game mail system. They call it the game survey, where you can convey ideas, provide suggestions on what to do for future patches, report bugs and glitches within the game. Most of these issues are usually resolved within the next patch update, whereas quality of life changes tend to happen on game anniversaries and major updates. As you can see in my mailbox, I have been invited to take a survey to ask about my game experience so far. Another way to view feedback is the feedback button itself, where you can provide detailed information about anything that you may experience. You can report an issue here. You would scan the QR code, and then any tickets you have will all be shown here. And then just to show you some updates that have recently happened, they have a section within notices for update summaries. This gives you a full detail report of the known issues, when they were reported, and when they have plans on fixing the problem. Just giving you an understanding of what issues look like and how they get through them. So a detailed update will tell you the date it happened, the time in which the update was fixed, and what the issue was. Some of these issues do not apply to everyone. They could depend on whether or not it's your mobile phone versus a console versus a PC. So I'm going to show you some gameplay of the game for a quest that I am currently working on. The story follows a linear structure with cutscenes that allow characters to interact with each other and is narrated by your flying companion Paimon. This is Paimon, our floating fairy. Paimon assists the traveler with progressing through the main story while showing them the world of Tevat as a whole, simultaneously acting as a character and also a tutorial to teach us new game mechanics. The game does offer some agency in choosing different dialogue options during cutscenes, which have different dialogue results but ultimately do not affect the story of the game. So we are going to go into my quest log and activate a quest. So you can see how the game mechanics interact with what we are going to be doing. So in this objective, we have to decorate the flowers. Being So in this thing, we get to paint things. It's going to be so much fun. So by playing as this character, I am able to interact with different paints. I won't lie, I'm not used to this game mechanic.
And it's just like the Asha. Optimistic, hands-on, and always looking out for others. Oh, Paimon understands their connection now. It must look. The pink seeds are blooming as the term rolls by.
So our objective is to get all of the paint to decorate all these flowers. Protect the drums. So, time to go back to action.
By royal decree, insubordination. Witness the power of Hawa, reign out. Midnight Phantasmagoria.
Continue pushing. Got it. Turn back into our little dude. And squirt more paint at it.
Looks like we're almost done. One final push.
Decorations seem to be painted. Alright, so we gotta go around and paint all of these decorational things. Oh, there's one. Probably would work better if I was up top doing it. Oh look, we found someone to interact with. Romantic confession. So if we agree to help them, it's the exclamation point. If we choose not to help them, we can always come back and help him later. So we're gonna say no for right now, so that we can continue on our other adventure we are doing. I still have 5 minutes to paint. We are experiencing a cutscene.
Whoa! It looks incredible! The foam flower fields finally live up to their name. Great work, everyone! Now we've just gotta let that staff member know, right?
Please, everyone, wait up.
Talk about perfect timing!
It's okay. Catch your breath first. All right. I'm the staff member in charge of the main event here at Colorful Cliffs, the Airborne Asha Challenge. Just now, gazing down from above, I saw the meadow suddenly transform into a sea of flowers, and the colors were so stunning. I almost dropped my binoculars. You truly are the saviors of Colorful Cliffs.
It was nothing. Besides, these two did most of the work.
Kind-hearted adventurers, would the pair of you consider taking part in our challenge? Or rather, would you do us the honor of bringing some color to our landmarks too?
That sounds awesome. But are you sure we're allowed to do that?
Of course, of course! I would love nothing more. You did my colleague such a huge favor, so it's only right that I thank you on his behalf. And I figured an experience like this would be even more special than a monetary reward.
No. We want the...
What she means is, we'd be delighted to help you out. So, how do we get there?
Please, follow me. We'll take the hot air balloon up.
So feedback I would give to the developers for this past cutscene or this interaction scene that we just witnessed would be to move the mouse of the characters for the characters that are talking. So, this is giving you an understanding of how doing an activity turns into a reward. You can loot the reward and keep going. You also have the ability to interact with objects. When something is sparkly, you can interact with it and loot whatever comes out. The little cat companion you see next to me, he was the anniversary gift this year. Since the new area is called Nardcry, and Nardcry is known for mechanical engineering, we were given a mechanical cat from the developers to celebrate the opening of Nardcry joining the map of Teyvat. This is the current map of Teyvat, where you can see each region is on its own. You can interact with each region. Any of the blue teleporters are statues of the seven. Anything that looks like a diamond is different dungeons that can be done in both single player and co-op mode up to 4 players. Anywhere you see the giant blue diamond, these are end game objectives. And this is Inazuma. Alright, well, I wanted to thank all of you for joining me today and watching my gameplay through of Genshin Impact. And I hope that you would want to play the game too someday. Alright, see y'all later. Bye.